was May 2012. That is the time where I met Ruth. It was Memorial Day weekend. For those of you who haven't heard the story, Memorial Day weekend, it was a Sunday evening. We met at the top of Empire Hotel in Manhattan. Thus began our relationship. Now,
if you want to know the full story on how we met, it's actually pretty cool and interesting. Make sure you either click on some of the links down in the description down below on how we met and our first date and our first kiss, all of that. So all of that in the description down below.
In the following months, she was living upstate at the time, so, I only saw her like once a week. It was on the weekend when she came down. And that summer of 2012, I ended up going to Greece. Now, that's important for a few reasons. Like, one, the previous 2 summers, I had visited or traveled to Japan. Now, why Japan? Well, I kind of still had someone that I was connected with there. It was a girlfriend I had when I worked and lived abroad in Japan from 2006 to 2009. I didn't stay there. I came back to the States after 2009 because I felt like, I couldn't live there, or at least it wasn't my time to live in Japan. So I came back to the States. I was teaching. But the summer of 2010 and the summer of 2011, I did visit Japan for a couple of weeks to visit my girlfriend at that time. So 2012 was a little bit different because I had met Ruth and we were dating, and I had told my girlfriend that I honestly didn't see a future, right? We still talked and everything. There was hope that we might be together, whatever. But in the end, I just felt like more and more I was just slipping away, and I didn't want her to come over here. She thought about, living here and working here, but I knew it just wasn't going to work because she's too much of a homebody, too much, for Japan, and she would miss, her family, friends, and everything over there. So I was like, no, it's not impossible. The only way for it to happen would be to move to Japan. But for some reason, I thought it would work, but it just didn't feel right. So I didn't go. So instead, I went to Greece for 2 weeks, and, Ruth was still in my mind, and, we were talking and stuff, and, we were kind of we didn't see each other for, 2 weeks, but in the end, it's just what it was. So I came back, and the next few months, our relationship strengthened and blossomed and everything.
Yeah.
And then comes December 2012, the same year, whatever. So I was talking to my former girlfriend from Japan, and she had notified me or informed me that she was getting married. And for some reason, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, pardon the expression, but I was just I was in shock. I was like, wow, I can't believe she's getting married. And, for some reason for me, it's oh, why is she marrying this guy? In the end, for some reason, my thoughts were racing, and I was like, no, she should be marrying me. I should be marrying her, not some other guy, whatever. And we had spoken with each other via Skype and an email and everything. And she told me in the end, she really loved me the most, out of everyone she's ever met. And, and she thought of us having a future, but because I decided to stay in America, it's just not going to happen. So after giving it a lot of thought, I wasn't too sure on my actions, but I kind of acted out of impulse. And I called Ruth, we connected, and I kind of broke up with her at that point.
Yeah, you didn't break up with me. You just said that you wanted to go to Japan.
Oh, right,
and see what happens.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I wanted to go to Japan and see what would happen and see, if it's really meant to be or not. If it's really, me and her, or if it's me and you and everything. Right. And that's what it was. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was wrong with that.
Yeah. So I get the call, and Derek is I want to go to Japan. It just happened because I didn't even see it coming, because a week before we had actually had a great time.
Yeah.
We went to this place called Bryant Park in the city. We had dinner. It was really nice. And then that weekend I got that call saying I want to go back to Japan because my ex-girlfriend is getting married, and I might have a little bit feelings for her. I want to go see if it's right or wrong, whatever. So that hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, I'm finally beginning to fall for this guy. Because before that, you have to understand that before that, I had been so comfortable living by myself, because I told you guys in the mukbang yesterday, I came to the US when I was 16 and I did everything on my own. So I wasn't too much having a boyfriend, whatever. And I think Derek was our first real relationship. And I took it super slow. Our first kiss was months before, the night. But it took us
slow afterwards.
Very slow afterwards. So I think you were even worried that I wasn't into you, because I didn't want to hold his hands. It was just a lot of things, because it's just me. So it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I think that I was like, oh my god, maybe I might like this guy a little bit more than I think I do, because it just hurt me so bad. So I remember going to bed that night. When he told me that, I was like, okay, why don't you go figure it out with her and let me know how it goes. And I went to bed, and I think I cried the whole night that day. I lived where I worked, but my eyes were red, I couldn't sleep, I cried, and then I think that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I am in love with this man. And before that, I didn't know, I was just joking around. But that happened, and I was like, I am in love with him, now what do I do? So I went to bed, and I woke up the next morning, and it was that evening, and I was like, I'm not gonna wait around for him to go find out if he's in love with somebody else. So I'm gonna break up with him and see what happens. So I called him up. That's when I called you.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I told Derek, I was like, I love you very much, and I want you to go and go see this woman, but I am not gonna be here waiting for you when you come back.
Yeah.
I think I just want to end things right now and just get it done, because to me, if you still were going to go find somebody, that means you still had feelings, and that means you had a girlfriend, and it's just all mess for me. And I was like, I am done. I think I said that, and I closed the computer immediately. Remember? I closed it. It was gone, and I jumped right into the bed.
Yeah, it hurt me a lot. I was thinking about that night too, and I was kind of devastated. I'm like, I was thinking to myself, what did I do?
Exactly. As soon as I closed that, and it's funny because we must have been thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Our hearts must have been crashed at the same time, because as soon as I closed that computer, I felt my heart rip. And everyone says, oh, your heart rips into pieces. No, it ripped into pieces. I felt like I fell on the bed and I couldn't get up. And my heart was aching and I was crying, and I think I was praying too. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe. But I knew I had to do it, because in order for him, I knew this was going to happen. I was going to do it, and he's going to realize that, oh my gosh, I'm in love with her more, you know?
Yeah.
And if he didn't do that, then I know that it wasn't meant to be. So one thing was supposed to happen in the other. So anyway, where I lived and worked upstate, I wouldn't get Wi-Fi at the house. But then when I came into town, I would get Wi-Fi. So then all of my texts and stuff would come in. So I didn't get any Wi-Fi. I didn't contact him. He didn't contact me, so far as I knew, because I hadn't come into town for 2 weeks. So I was it was a mountain, like in the upstate New York, in the woods, in the mountain. And that 2 weeks was really hard, because we didn't talk to each other. I didn't get my phone. I didn't do anything, because I knew I just was broken at that moment. I think my boss even realized that something was wrong. I think she thought I was quitting, but I wasn't. It's just like I was just a mess. So I was crying every night. At this point, I'm just like torn into pieces. And I remember one specific day, I was at work. I woke up in the morning and I was like, I love this guy. So I remember going in the bathroom. I was so broken. I went into the bathroom and I was crying. I think I told my boss, like, I need a little break. I went into the bathroom and I remember sitting on the toilet, and my head was like this, and I was like bawling my eyes out, crying. And then I said a prayer, and I remember saying to God, I was like, God, if I don't want anything else in this world, the only thing I want is Derek. I remember praying, I'm like, please, that's all. I won't ask you for anything else. All I want is Derek. Because at that moment, I was thinking of like the way he hugged me. And it's so weird. I always told him, your hugs are the best. And it really was. Because when he would hug me, I'd feel like sense of like home, like comfort, you know? And that moment, I remember like sitting on the toilet and just like, I'm going to cry. Say like a prayer. I know. Because I still remember it till now, because it was so hard for me. And I think at that moment, because I'm such a hard shell to break, because I had to be hard. I've had to be strong for a very long time. So it was the only time that I felt like I was stripped away, kind of. And I remember praying and saying, I felt vulnerable for once in my life. I was like, all I want is Derek. All I want is Derek. Please, that's all I want. So I remember, I'm shaking. I remember going into town, and as soon as I hit town, I got a bunch of messages, a bunch of voicemails. So I was like, what the heck is happening? So I pulled the car over I looked at my phone and I listened to the voice, and it's just Derek. It was you. He had messaged me, call me now. I miss you. Give me a call. I'm trying to call you. I've been trying to get a hold of you. And I wish I would have saved that voicemail. It was the sweetest thing ever. He left me a voicemail saying, what did you say? So you called me?
I called her, and basically I told her, like, she's the one. Like, I'm really in love with her, and I want to be with her. And I'm sorry for everything I did, and I want things to work with us. I want to be with her. And yeah, I would ask for another chance. I need to see you.
Yeah. And that moment when I got that voicemail, I was like, yes. But I was playing hard to get, of course. I was like, oh my God, I haven't lost him after all. I can't believe it. And I remember that weekend I was going to go in the city. So I texted you, I think. I didn't call you because I didn't want to hear your voice. Because I was like so I texted, I was like, I'm going to be in the city this weekend and we can see each other.
Yeah.
So then when I was in the city, I was staying in an apartment in downtown in Soho, and then I remember calling him and saying, I can meet you, but we're not going to be holding hands, we're not going to be kissing, and it's going to go from the beginning, like how it was.
That's how it was, yeah.
Because I kind of we needed to build that trust again, and it's just like, it's going to go right from the beginning, no holding hands. It's going to be like, I just now met you. We're going to go from friends to like kind of working our way up. And I remember you met me in the city, you brought me gloves. You brought me something.
Yeah, I think I bought you, yeah.
He got me gloves.
Nice, yeah.
Because it was cold.
Yes, I did. I got a really nice glove.
Leather gloves, which I ended up losing on the train.
Deerskin gloves, actually.
Deerskin gloves.
Deerskin gloves, yeah.
And he brought me the gloves, and I remember we hugged, I think.
Yeah, we hugged.
It was a little awkward at first because, we had gone through such a traumatic time. And I think we started from the beginning. I think it made us stronger, and I think I knew right then that I was in love with you.
Yeah.
Because before that I was just messing around and being like, maybe I like him, maybe I don't like him, maybe I like him, maybe I don't like him.
Right.
And then I knew we had a future.
We had it, yeah. And that was the start of. That was the second start. We had our first start, I guess, May 2012. We met each other.
Yeah.
So we had that going, but this was like, then it kind of climbed after this. This is the basic of the foundation for everything. And after that, we just started climbing up and, building our relationship and everything. And then it ended up, it culminated it all came to a head in April 2013 when I proposed to her.
Yeah.
And, we gave that, that's another video.
Another video that we actually did, which was called The Proposal, How I Proposed. So go see that video, how he proposed to me.
And it's funny because we'll bring back the breakup every now and then. She's like, she puts me on a guilt trip every now and then. And like,
I do.
I feel bad about it. I'm just like, yeah, I know. It's just,
I feel bad.
It's not one of my better moments.
No, it's not. It's not. Because, we always go to the city Christmas and spend like a day or two in the city during the Christmas holiday, December, and we'd go to, the Bryant Park, where the day or the weekend before we broke up, that same spot, and I'll be like, remember what happened here?
Yes.
Our last day before we broke up. He's like, no, I don't want to talk about it. So that is definitely, I do bring it up. I do make him feel guilty sometimes, and he doesn't want to remember bad things ever. So,
but no regrets.
No regrets. Everything happens for a reason.
Everything's great, and you know what? We're in love. We love each other. We have a great
Very much so. Let me tell you guys, it only gets better. When you're with the right person, it always gets better. And I can also say that when someone breaks up with you, or when you break up with somebody, in that moment, you just want to do a million things at once. I think you just take a break and just have it sink in. I know it's a little harder than it is, but just taking a break and being like, okay, thinking about it first and preparing like what you need to say or what you need to do. I also think like that whole reverse psychology thing works. So if a guy comes to you like, I think I'm gonna go here and I don't know if it's gonna work, and you say, you know what? Actually, now that you mentioned that, I don't think it's gonna work too, because you don't want to be the one kind of begging. I think if I had come to him and be like, please be with me, then again it would be a little different.
Yeah,
I would say.
True. Yeah, I think so too. I like the way she handled it. She handled it very well, the right way. Based on me, like, it was good. It made me think long and hard. It made me think like, put my values and love and everything in perspective, and that was it at the end.
Yeah, so that's the breakup story.
Yeah, that's the breakup story, guys.
Yeah.
So, you know, let us know if any more questions or comments with that. Please
let us know if you have any story times you want us to do. Obviously, I got a few comments today after we did the bug bang that you want to know about the whole pregnancy story. But that's that video we have to kind of prepare for, because that's a huge one. So, and I think that video in particular changed us a little bit in a way, especially I think with him more than with me. So. Well, me too, but more with him. Right. So I think that's another set of video. And also someone mentioned about doing how I came to US at 16 alone without family, and the way I survived, and going through all of that. And I think that's another great one and as well. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back with another video.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.